Hey everybody, Jade here. And well, first of all, I wanted to apologize for the fact that my last video from last week or so was really morbid and dark, but I had went through one of the worst weeks of my life. Not the whole week, but I had a hair in my mouth. And not the whole week. And like I said, there was good people in that place, but I I just I couldn't believe that I was thrown out basically because of discrimination alone. There was no investigation, no nothing. There was no evidence against me doing anything wrong. I have no history of doing anything wrong in that place. I was always one of the most loved patients. And because I'm nice to people, I'm kind to people, I empathize with people. Never hurt people unless they put their hands on me. That's when all bets are off. But other than that, I've really got my anger under control over the years because I used to be a hothead back in the day. I wouldn't even want to hang out with me back in the day. But I'm still searching for justice. I have tried to reach out to the local newspaper. I have tried to reach out to other people and say, please get this word out, get this video out. If you guys have seen my YouTube video telling my story, please get that out. Get this video out and have it be known to people. Share it. I never ask for my content to be shared, like, subscribed, all that other stupid crap, because I do this to acknowledge those who need to be educated or who can relate and give them a place to feel like they have a safe space to talk. But, yeah, so anyway, that's still been weighing on my heart heavily, but I have gotten past it. As you see, I'm starting to smile again and everything. I'm starting to be myself again. Um, Yesterday I went and had a little bit of bad luck. Well, not just me, but a good friend of mine from up the street. I've known him about 20 years now, and we've always been good friends and stuff. And the thing is, he wanted me to drive. Like, he was getting out of the hospital, out of this rehabilitation center, because he had a serious seizure thing, something like that, that he was in a coma for like 4 weeks. He needed a feeding tube, a trach, all these horrible things. I'm telling you, this guy was barely walking. He was walking like, an old person or something. And I had been there, having had my bone broken basically in half and having it fused back together with two screws that are still in me, and knowing them pains that you feel even years later. I was lucky to recover like I did. I've been there. It took me months to walk again. So I had it even worse, and I can only imagine. I know it takes time, and I felt so bad for him, so I offered. I was like, I'm gonna pick you up, I'm gonna help you with your stuff. So he puts, well, I help him put his stuff in his car, and he puts some of his stuff in the car. Well, not his car, but my mom's car. I had borrowed it because I have like a license, just no car. And so I pick him up and we leave. It's in this place called Pomona, New Jersey. This rehabilitation facility for like people that are going through like physical therapy after surgery or whatever. And it's near like the Hamilton Mall. If you're familiar with the area, you know where I'm talking about. Not too far from Atlantic City. He asked me to stop at his mom's house, which was about 5 minutes away. I'm like, okay, because he needed to get some stuff and some money or whatever. And his mom's car was there, but his mom wasn't. He insisted that something must be wrong and she's not answering her phone, and it seemed like she was there and she wasn't answering. So he insisted that I called the cops for him on my phone because he didn't have a working phone. And I called the cops and everything, let him do the talking. Because, like, I mean, he asked me a few times, I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure this is a serious thing? He's like, I know my mom, she would be here, whatever. And he insisted, he's like, well, I don't have no warrants to worry about. And I knew I didn't have anything to worry about, so I'm waiting there in my little Harley Quinn skirt that I was wearing time. I'm wearing camo leggings today, but I was wearing a Harley Quinn skirt. I must have looked awkward. Um, I'm waiting there and everything, and I'm in the car. He's like waiting on the street side in between my car and the house, basically. And so the cops come about half an hour later. You could tell this wasn't a great neighborhood because that's how long the police response time took. I seriously timed it. It was around a half an hour, maybe longer. And come to find out, he had a warrant that he didn't know about, probably from while he was in there. Because I remember before he had spent 2 months in the hospital. He was in a coma for 4 weeks. Keep example. Hold on, I'm getting a cigarette. I know I've really gotta quit. Some of you guys tell me and everything, but I mean I've been smoking since I was 14 years old, so it's hard to quit, and it is what it is. I could be doing worse things. That's the way I see it. Like it's not a habit I've really held on to. That I smoke my weed and everything, but I have a medical card for that, and besides, it's supposedly legal now in Jersey anyway, as long as you have small amounts, which I always do. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So cops come. One cop comes at first, looks in the car, doesn't say nothing to me. I had nothing to say to him. I'm just smoking a cigarette, relaxing, waiting, thinking, okay, I'm on a time limit here, because I had to bring my mom's car back so that we could get the boys from school, my boys, my two sons. And so, come to find out, he had a warrant on him that he didn't know about. And he was in the hospital for like 2 months. So, it probably went through during that because I overheard them saying he got in trouble in August or something, or the warrant was from August, something like that. And it's been like 2 months that he's been there in August, September, October. Yeah, that's about right. So I feel bad for him because he could barely walk. I'm telling you, this guy was struggling, and he's one of the strongest guys I know normally. He's like completely gangsta, that type of style and everything. Me and him been friends for a long time, and I'm wishing him the best going through that. His bags were left in my car, but he knows he can trust me. He can leave it in my house. He lives right up the street from me anyway. He could literally walk to my house, or I could walk to his. I just feel bad that it happened to a good friend of mine, especially after he had just went through some stuff. It was nice to see him again. He had just got. Can you imagine getting out of the hospital after a couple months and then this happens to you and you get cuffed minutes later? But he insisted on calling the cops. I mean, I would have just personally been like, screw it, we'll come here another day and get this stuff. But it must have been a lot of stuff he had left over. So, oh no, it's his business at the end of the day. The cop had asked me for a cell phone. Everything else I have of his is, like, gonna be sitting in my house safely. Because that's, I'd never steal from somebody, like, personally like that. Back in the day, I stolen from stores and stuff, which I'm past all that. And I still never ever stole from a person, like, that I knew of somehow. And I don't know. At the end of the day, I wish him the best so much. Because Atlantic County Jail, which is like where Atlantic City is and all that, and Pleasantville, all them dangerous neighborhoods, it's 90% people from there. And it's a bad jail to be in. I've been in there back in the day. Last time was 2018. Thank God. I've cleaned up my life. I've obviously started going down a whole new path, an innocent path, which I still get judged for anyway, of course. But at least I know I'm doing all the right things in life in general. As far as being there for those I love, always treating kind those that respect me and being there for them too. And to an extent, never letting people take advantage of me, of course, but anytime people say, hey, I need help with this, I'm right on it and everything. That's just the type of way I was raised. Always respect those who respect you, and, Always give it your fullest in life, but at the same time, don't be too nice because people will walk on you. But I do know the difference between a truly grateful person and somebody that doesn't mean anything. But anyway, um, so yeah, you could tell I'm in a better mood than my last video. Still not in a great mood. I request that anybody who has a lot of people to share to, please share that old video of mine, the last video about Seabrook in Bridgeton, New Jersey. I want the CEOs in trouble, not the people on the staff, because a lot of those were good people and they were actually on my side. But I don't want them to get away with that. Like, can you imagine? This was a civil rights violation. I tried to call a Daily Journal. I left messages left and right. And it's like I'm just not being heard. It's like trans people are being written off around here or something. Because this was a truly bad thing. And I can't sleep at night knowing that this could happen to someone else. Because this is something that anybody knows I would never do. And I had several people attest to this. Now, there was only in that whole place maybe 15 or less women, and 6 of them signed it. One of them wrote it for me, that paper that I read off. And that was just on my way out, the ones I ran into. If I ran into everyone, I probably would have gotten signatures from everyone. Or they just wanted to be in it. But everyone else was siding with me. People were like really mad at the staff. And that's why I never ended up having to sleep when the guys in. They just put me way on the end for my final night. I shouldn't have to be exposed to some kind of thing like that just because of hearsay, especially from a drug addict. They have hearsay all the time that they just overlook. But when it comes to me, what was it? They were just looking an excuse to kick me out, the high up people. And they need to be put in their place. It needs to be known how they're treating trans people because this is not right. At the end of the day, it is not right. And someone with a lesser tolerance to tragedy and discrimination than me, what if they had went home and overdosed themselves or killed themselves or something like that? I can't live with the fact knowing that this could happen again. People don't fucking deserve that. That's what it comes down to. They just don't deserve that. And it ain't gonna keep happening. I'll find a way to get this out because I have the phone numbers of some of the people that did tests for me and everything and said that I was innocent. I'm sure that they would even go into a courtroom and say, this person was around me all the time, never gave any indications of any ways like that. And I'm on testosterone blockers and estrogen, for God's sakes. That makes it to where, I have no sex drive like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff even when I do. I'm a one person kind of person. And I want to get with someone consensually, and I have to get to know them. I'm a shy person when it comes down to it. I make jokes all the time. I make wisecracks all the time, but I never actually react on anything like that. Never would. And I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not like that. I would never take someone's free will like that. But it's the only way they can get rid of me because all the girls and most of the guys basically knew that I wasn't the one to mess with, if they were to try and get physical or something like they usually do. So they found a different way or something. They knew I was liked by the staff, so they had to find some extreme way to get me kicked out, I guess. Or the higher ups were just looking for a reason to kick me out. Either way, there should have been a better investigation considering I had spent so many nights there, never been a problem. I had nothing, no bad strikes against my record, and that's what should be most important. Not in my legal record, not in my record there, nothing. Yet this person, they didn't know whatsoever, and was a drug seeker and everything, and they were nothing but problems. I had stopped associating with this person because they kept asking me where I could find freaking dope and stuff like that. And I haven't been in that game for years. I don't talk about that shit. I just don't want to hear about it. You know, you want to go do you, then whatever. If I don't know you, like, go ahead, do you. But keep that shit away from me. Go find a like minded individual that'll be okay with it. Simple as that. But some people just don't know how to respect and just let it be. You know, some people get desperate to the point where they have to make sure they get their little revenge. These are people, some of the biggest con artists in the freaking world walk through them doors. And let me tell you, that it's just that place is, it needs to be managed better. That's all I'll say. It really does. There's a lot of great people that work there that go above and beyond, but at the same time, these kind of things need to stop, and I will make sure it's heard. I wrote a Google review. I made a YouTube video. Keep in mind that my video is called something like my true story experience at Seabrook House in Bridgeton, New Jersey, something like that. I forget what it's called exactly. But it was my video before this. So if you haven't seen it, check it out, share it. Make sure this gets out and request that it gets out to the right people. If you believe in trans rights, please. Because I had my civil rights violated and I'm still messed up in the head because of this. Because it wasn't right. I had every piece of evidence working in my favor and they didn't want to hear nothing. They just kicked me out with no second thought about it. It was the CEO that sent that in, not the lower down staff. They were all protesting it. All the patients were protesting it. What does that say about me? I am not that type of person. Anybody who knew me knew that. Some person I never met did this to me. All because of what I am. I'm tired of being hated for existing. I'm a good person at heart. I'll have your back till the end. I'm as loyal as it fucking comes. So don't treat me like I'm otherwise. That's what I say to people. But, you know, I could talk all day. I mean, I'm just leaving an update on things and all that. Went through a crazy experience with my friend. God bless him. I hope he's doing alright. Getting arrested like that. I don't want to put his name out there. And then I'm still upset over that because it's not getting nowhere. Um, Please do share that video. I never asked for a share, but please get that out there for the sake of trans rights. Get into the right people's hands so that it gets in the freaking news that a CEO did this to a trans woman for no reason. To a trans woman on testosterone blockers and estrogen. It's not like I have the hormones of a regular man. I really don't. And even when I did, I still was raised with more respect than that. But for now, everybody, I'm going to cut this video down and, like usual, be safe always and peace out.